Starting a little garden tour. This is my vegetable starts on the porch. They're getting a little breeze. They get sun in the morning and the afternoon, but a little midday shade, so they're doing well. Oh, here's Miss Kitty. Hey, Faye. My lavender bush, which is about to really do its bloom, which is really nice. This is tree peonies, which are done. What are those? Peonies, they're done. This is normally a hollyhock patch, but with the drought, it's not. There's some, the purple ones are penstemons that are hanging in there. And of course, California poppies, which are indestructible. And roses, which are fairly indestructible. And there's the horses. There's my rosemary bush. It's quite large. The lawn, which is a bit crispy with our drought. And here's the garden. We got some herbs on the outside. There's lemon balm on the end here, which will completely take over. We got marjoram and oregano, which seems to be in bloom, and they've got bees. There's a bee. The funny looking ones are gopher spurge, and then comfrey, which I've hacked back so it doesn't self-seed. It's another one that'll take over. Sage there. There is a thyme underneath, but it's been kind of shoved out. This was a nice little volunteer here. That's purslane. It's an omega-3 plant. It's kind of a succulent, and it spreads out and keeps moisture in the soil. Very nice. These are all my self-watering pots. I got 10 half wine barrels, and what I did was I lined them with pond liner, and then I drilled a hole in the side, and I put actually kitty litter jugs and 1 gallon jugs in there, and so that creates a water reservoir. These were all planted June 4th. It's June 23rd, I think, today. So they have all got a deep watering once, and they've been going off the water reservoir since then. Then we have had sprinkles twice. Very, very little, but it assists. And here's the horses have come up to drink at the water trough. This is patty pan squash, which is a nice early squash that actually chops up and freezes well. I used some of my garden soil, and so there's some volunteers in there. That's some kind of mustard, some other kind of green, and more purslane in there. This is red bottle onions, and that is lamb's quarter, which is supposed to be kind of a weed, but it's a good spinach type thing. There we have Armenian cucumber, which is actually a melon, but it creates a nice delicate type cucumber. And parsley, more squash. I planted, these are from pots from last year. They're not self-watering pots. They have done not as well as the others, but it's all potatoes, purple Viking potatoes. This is tomatillos and ground cherry, which I've never tried before, and a mix of peppers and basils. This little one here is an African basil, which is supposed to make leaves big enough to do like sandwich wraps, which is cool. Here's a cherry tomato. It's always first out the gate. We've got blooms and even little tomatoes in there. Here we go. More basil. I do like basil. Some peppers. There's a Amish paste tomato. This is Thai basil. It's a kind of a licoricey basil. It's very lovely. It's doing quite well here. When I planted it in the yard, or in the ground, it's not done this well because we drain really well here. Here's a jalapeno, and there's even a little pepper in there. I don't know if you can see it. He's hiding. These are rose tomatoes, which do a lovely beefsteak tomato. You can chop them and put them in stews and soups. Very nice. More basil. This is a Steppas tomato. It is kind of a short cold season tomato, so if things don't go well, that's a good one. Let's see here. There's some gopher spurge. This is some volunteer borage, which looks like it's tapping out here. That's one of my early things for flowers and bees. There we go. Some more potatoes. This is sunflowers and green beans. And some leeks and purslane. Leeks are probably a little late, but you know, we do what we can. There's my water barrels. And I've got a 2-gallon water jug. So everything here has received like 2 gallons of water twice since they've been planted. So 3 weeks, pretty good. We got more green beans and sunflowers. That's an open spot for some things from the porch. More green beans and sunflowers and arugula, which I've never had such happy arugula. So that's what we got. And then some dill. And this is a little cucamelon. They make little marble-sized watermelons that grew up the fence that taste like cucumbers and lime. And it's very nice tasting with dill. So that's what we got. Oh, there's some cows out there today. There's 15 acres down there that they have to wander around on. And then they can go down over there. There's a creek down there they can go down to. And I've got some poppies that volunteered from last year, which I think they're the most interesting in terms of forms and structures. They're just very fascinating. So that's the garden. Oh, and there's some fruit trees that way. I'm not sure how much we're going to get out of them because we're not able to water. So that's what we got.